Well, good morning again to all of you. It's an honor and a privilege to be here to celebrate this moment of a fresh springtime and a newness that comes through the sacrifices of so many people. We're here to, of course, dedicate and bless the Sister Rosemary Park and the new buildings, miniature golf course, a recreation center, different structures. But it would be missing the point if we only centered ourselves on these structures, these physical edifices. Because the real moment for us to reflect on is, what does it mean to have building going on here at Misericordia? What is the building that has been built and continues to be built here? And it is more than just these structures. It is a culture, an environment, a way of living that in fact not only secures and safety those who live here, but is a real beacon for us, all of us, to imitate, that has an impact on us all in society. And the readings that we have today give us an idea of where we should set our sights as we celebrate this building that goes on here at Misericordia. The first comes to us from the prophet Ezekiel. He gives us this image of going to a high mountain. It's about having a vision. It is something that Sister Rosemary brought to this work. She gave a vision to what this place could be. And visions are important because there will always be setbacks in any enterprise that we have. Things will go wrong, people will refuse to help us, we will make mistakes, and there will be bumps in the road. But a vision allows us to keep our eyes set on a goal. It's much like what we hear in the book of Hebrews about hope. Hope is the assurance of things that we long for. It is the evidence of things we cannot see. It allows us to keep going. And that really was a part of everything that went on here over these years under the work of and efforts of Sister Rosemary. She had a vision. She had a hope that in fact would not be daunted by setbacks and difficulties. And that's important for us to keep in mind as we look at our own lives as well. Things go wrong in our relationships, in our families, in our workplace. And yet if we bring a vision of where we want to go, and we keep in mind with a sense of perspective how God may be calling us in a direction that allows us to be creative and imaginative, that can really sustain us. So we learn that from her. But also, that vision is something that can be very contagious, as we see here. There is a contagion about being merciful, which we need in society today. In a time in which our politics rip us apart, where there are all sorts of gun violence going on in society, even this week that we witnessed. Ways in which people are demeaned by the way that they're described simply because they're immigrants or people who are poor or homeless. That kind of vision allows us to see that when we have the opportunity to help someone else, to show mercy, something can happen in each one of us. That vision of mercy is what is the building that goes on here. It is an example that is contagious if we grab a hold of it. The second thing that we see in the reading from Ephesians is that it is a vision and it is a work, a building that goes on in an organic way that makes sure that everybody's included. We are citizens and saints of the household of God, we're told. We're a building which rises on the foundation of apostles and prophets with Jesus as a capstone. All are in the structure that's fitted together and it takes shape. That too is the mercy, the Misericordia that happens here. It makes sure that no one is left behind. And that when we look out for those who are most vulnerable, not only are they protected, but our lives are ennobled and enhanced. My mother raised 9 children, and she was once asked, "Do you love any of your children any more than the others?" Well, that's a trick question, isn't it? But her response was very immediate and very firm. She said, "Only if they need it. Only if they need it." Well, I think that puts into perspective that each one of us, as we build an institution, a wonderful place like Misericordia, what it teaches us is that people are not left behind, but also that when we include them, we're all better off. We're making sure that we too, in our own vulnerabilities, will be cared for. And we take responsibility for one another. That too is a Misericordia that Sister Rosemary has built. A Misericordia, a mercy that includes everyone, because we're all better off when we do so. We're less when we neglect those who are vulnerable. And she taught us that. And finally, the building that goes on here is very much expressed in the gospel that we have for today, where we are told that the wonderful work that goes on here is like a building that's built on rock rather than sand. Sand is a good metaphor for the things that pass, that are ephemeral, that are temporary, that don't last. But a rock gives us that assurance of something that remains. And so Sister Rosemary, too, gave us a vision of taking up this work, because when we are merciful, we are very much like God, the God that we will meet at the end of time for all eternity. She helps set our sights on the fact that what we're really doing when we show mercy is practicing for all eternity. Because as Pope Francis wrote, the name of God is mercy. And so the work that we do here does have a lasting impact, not just on the people who will come and enjoy and benefit from the work that's here, but for all eternity, that God will know who we are. There is that parable that we hear Jesus tell of, at the end of the time, people who say they know who Jesus is because they said his name or they listened to him, but he did not know them because they did not know his name and he did not know their name. It is an opportunity for us to really take to heart that our own spiritual lives, our individual lives, as we prepare for the passing from this life to the next, that what we do here gives us an opportunity to study up and learn and prepare for all eternity, because the mercy we show here will be met by the mercy of God. So today, it's good to celebrate and rejoice in the actual structures that are being built. But I think it's also important to realize that the Misericordia that Sister has built and that we continue to build here must also involve having a vision, a sense that nothing will daunt us or defer us from taking up the challenges that we face, but also a mercy that's inclusive, realizing that we all benefit from showing mercy, and something comes out of us when we show mercy. But also a Misericordia, a mercy that we learn here that will have an impact on the day that we die and face God, for we will meet him and know him as a name that is mercy. So today, let us rejoice in what we do. Be glad for and grateful for the generosity of others. But always keep in mind that the work will continue here as a vision, as something that prepares us for all eternity, and then make sure that no one is left behind.